Hey everyone, I'm Amy Major, and tonight we're going to make a chili and cornbread bake. This is a fairly easy recipe, and I've tried to do some prep work already. I'm going to preheat my oven to 400. I've already browned some hamburger meat in our weeknight skillet. It may be a few pink pieces left, and I just used the mix and chop. This is a favorite. Everybody loves it. And I don't know how I would brown hamburger meat without it. I just think it helps to break up those crumbles a lot better than using a regular spoon. Okay, so while that's on there on low, since it's already pretty much browned, we're gonna cut an onion. My family's not real big on onions, so it says to finely dice, and that's where we're gonna use our food chopper. So this is the chef's knife, and it's Santuco cover. Yeah. It says a small onion. Normally what I do, since we don't like a lot of onion anyway, when it says a small onion, I maybe do like a quarter of an onion. That probably is even smaller than what the smallest onion is, but it's enough that it's in there, and if I chop it fine enough, we don't really see the big pieces of it, but we do get the flavoring from it. So I'm just going to cut that in half and go ahead and quarter that. And I'm going to set that aside. And I'm just going to cut this in some little chunks here just to get it started. I may actually use a little more than that. Green pepper calls for 2 of those. My family's not a big fan. I'm fine with it. I'm just going to use part of that. You can always customize these recipes and make them the way you want. If your family doesn't like something, switch it out for something you do like. And again, I'm just going to sort of coarse chop this. I actually like red bell pepper better. I think it's a little bit sweeter, has a better taste. But so we're just gonna, you can use the food chopper in 2 different ways. You can put this in the lid and chop it like that. And I will do that for nuts, like pecans, walnuts, things like that. I'm not really so much worried about that right now. If you do it that way, you do have the added convenience of carrying it and putting it in whatever you're doing. Chopper's been around for a really long time. It's probably one of the better sellers. It's actually regular priced at $45 and on sale this month for I think $33.75. Yeah. I'm just gathering that up there. You could also use the electric twist and chop. You can use the manual food processor, however you best can do this to get it chopped really fine. And I knew that would happen. There'd be some bigger pieces up underneath. So I'm just going to go back over it again. And as this cuts, these blades turn. That's how it does such a great job of chopping. A few big pieces of pepper there left. And then I just rake this out with my knife. Take this top off. All this comes apart for easy cleaning. I believe this product is dishwasher safe. I don't have a dishwasher, so I don't really know that, but I'm fairly certain it is. And because I did this on my flexible cutting mat, lift this mat up, put this in here with my hamburger meat, and just rake this right in. Now this is the large size flexible cutting mat, and actually I think they did away with the small one, so it's only one size now. I had turned that on low so it wouldn't overcook. I think there is a big piece of pepper there. So what you want to do is saute this until the vegetables, usually when the onion starts to become translucent, become clear, that's a good sign that they're softened. So I'm just going to let that go for a few minutes. I'm trying to pick out the big pieces. Okay. Should have chopped a little bit longer. I wanted to move on with the recipe though. Alright, so while this is doing, and my stovetop gets pretty hot, so it'll take no time to do that. We're going to come back over here, and the next thing we're going to do, I already have 1 can of drained black beans. I'm going to use the smooth edge can opener. And what this does, you just want to fit it in between these 2 pieces here, and you can sort of feel it clamp on and start to turn. And you're going to go all the way around, and once you get to where you started, you can feel it sort of give. There, I felt it. You want to go back with it in reverse, and it pops off really easy. And then I say it's got a little beak right here. I just put my little beak on that can and pull up. And then you have no sharp edges to cut your finger. Not on this or on this. So, I'm going to come over here. We're going to use our can strainer and drain these beans. Now another way I altered this recipe is it really calls for chili beans. I'm not sure, I think those are pinto beans. I'm not a fan of pinto beans, so I substituted black beans. It may have been northern beans, I really don't know, but I do like black beans. I don't mind kidney beans, but like I say, make it your own. If you don't like something, switch it up. Nobody knows but you, and you have to eat it. Alright, I think that's drained pretty good. Let's check these veggies here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add our beans in. I'm going to add our other can. We're going to use 1 14.5 ounce can of tomato sauce. And half a cup of strong coffee. So I saved some of my coffee from earlier today. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to be really frugal, y'all. See that red tomato sauce in that can? I'm going to pour about what I think is half a cup in there. And just swish that around a little bit to get the remaining tomato off. Okay. I know I'm interested in, this is a new recipe for me as well. So I'm interested in seeing how the coffee in this is going to taste. But I have made other recipes that have called for coffee and it's been fine. So now let that go for a minute. Our seasonings. We are going to use a tablespoon of chili powder. I've got my Easy Read measuring spoons here. They're clear. It's wrote in black. I can see it really well. Can't have chili beans without chili powder. Then we are going to use a teaspoon of cocoa powder. I have used this in chili beans before. This is not a staple for me, but we're going to put it in here and see how it goes. I guess with the coffee and with the cocoa powder, it's almost going to have a mocha type background taste. And then we're going to do half a teaspoon of salt. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually put a little cayenne pepper in here to spice it up a little bit. I'm not going to because I don't know how that would work with the cocoa powder. But normally, in my chili beans, I do. And also, if you don't think this recipe sounds like something that you would want to use, you could substitute your own recipe of chili beans. I think the recipe says to use 10 cups of your favorite chili. This is just how this recipe goes. Honestly, I have chili bean recipes I use, but a lot of times I just get from our regular pantry seasoning, the chili mix. It tastes about as good as what I mix up with the chili powder, cumin, and salt, and cayenne, and all the other. Got the same amount of heat. Okay, I'm going to cut that off and just let that be for a minute. So, we're going to come back over here. I'm using our sweet cornbread mix, guys. This is new to our fall lineup. I haven't used it yet before myself. So, I don't know how you like your cornbread. I kind of like mine to be not so sweet, but I don't want it sour or plain either. So we're going to see. With corn, you expect a little sweetness, right? So this is a cup of buttermilk. On my nesting trivet, because there's actually a larger one that comes with this. This was in our fall catalog too. I have 2 eggs. I'm going to go ahead and crack those. We're going to add 2 cans of diced green chilies. I should have used my bigger batter bowl. This is the small batter bowl I'm using. And it measures up to 4 cups. So we will see if that's good enough. Just a little bit more in here. You know what? I actually just use that batter bowl to measure the buttermilk anyway, because we are going to run out of room. I'm just going to pour this into my medium mixing bowl, because we've still got to put cheese in here. So I'm going to use a small whisk here. I can't find the one I wanted to use. I just sort of jab at the eggs to go ahead and break them up. if you wanted to add more veggies, you could probably even use a can of corn, either like the sweetened corn or the sweetened cream corn or the whole roasted. But I think we probably have enough veggies with the black beans and the chilies going on. Then we're gonna add some cheddar cheese. I have some already grated in my little, this is the medium silicone bag, which is where I keep my cheese, y'all. We're gonna put about a cup, and I'm not really gonna measure that with a measuring spoon. A little, if I have a little extra never hurt anybody. And if I'm a little less, well, we can put some extra on top. I'm just gonna mix that up. And we are going to come back over to the stove. This is our Brilliance 9x13. You can get this separate, or you can get it in a set with a half sheet pan. I'm not sure where mine is right now. And it comes with a rack or an 8x8. So we are going to go ahead and pour our chili in here. And guys, the one thing about the Brilliance, I don't know if you can you see how this liquid just sort of pulls away from the metal? That's that non-stick finish that we all love. Because if it's easy to clean, we're going to enjoy using it, right? And these pans have that same non-stick finish as the skillets. So, after we do that, we are going to go ahead and put our cornbread topper on. I have the oven preheated to 400. Pretty good. Just sort of spreading it out a little bit. We're going to bake this for about 35 to 40 minutes. I'm going to set it at 35 and we'll see how brown it is. If it's not brown enough, we'll add the 5 minutes. Oh well, so I had melted some butter. This was 4 tablespoons of butter to go in my cornbread mix, and because I had it over here, I didn't get that mixed in. So I'm just gonna put that on top. Here I got my whisk. Let's see if I can just sort of mix that around. So the saying with Pampered Chef is pampered, not perfect. And believe me, I make mistakes all the time. Okay. So the good thing about the Brilliance bakeware is you do have these lids. You can make something like this up ahead, put the lid on it, put it in your refrigerator, and store it for another night when you know you're going to be busy. These do not go in the oven. You cannot bake them. But they are great for storing. All right, guys, that's our chili bean skillet. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.